Hey everyone, it's Lauren Knight, and I am the founder and CEO of Team Impact. I am coming to you today to do a new coach, how to get started right training. I know as a new coach, because I was one a few years back, it is extremely, extremely exciting to get started, but it's also a little bit filled with anxiety. I know how that feels to be pumped to start talking about what you're excited about, but also that feeling of, well, maybe I don't really know what I'm doing and I don't really know how to be successful at this. I just know I want to be. That's exactly the same feeling I have, and pretty much all new coaches have in the beginning. Because if you're anything like me, you got started as a mom, as I was a designer, a graphic designer before I became a coach. I went to college, but I had no actual business experience. I just knew how to be an employee. I did not know how to run a business or own a business or lead people or anything like that. And so I was a little nervous, but I also knew other people that were doing it and that were successful at it. And I really had that feeling that, if other people have figured this out, I can too. And I want you to kind of grab some of that confidence right now and realize that you're not the first person to start this. You're not the first person to start with very little experience in business. In fact, most people that get started as coaches, their only experience with Beachbody in general or network marketing at all is just using the products. They don't know anything. Well, none of us started with a huge network of people or this awesome business savvy and we knew what to do. We were all just getting started because we had a little bit of a dream of what we wanted for our lives. So I want to share a little bit about how I got started, just to inspire you that you can do this too. And you may not know how I got started. I might just be a face on Facebook to you. So, who am I? I was just, and really am just, a regular mom that learned how to dream. I lost 45 pounds with Shakeology and P90X. And that was my very, very first experience with Beachbody. I became a coach and purchased P90X and Shakeology all right about the same time. I did not have a big weight loss story when I started as a coach. What I had was the desire to lose weight and the desire to change my life. And that's what I started sharing with people. I saw other regular moms with these huge, huge stories of success. I was following Christine Dwyer and Hillary Kelly and people that were just maybe a year or two in front of me in the business, but they were making like what I thought at the time was just an unheard of amount of money being a stay-at-home mom and running a business that honestly I felt like I could do. So the fact that I saw them doing it made me confident that I could learn how to. I found purpose and freedom in working hard on me. And that started physically. When I started using the products and I started realizing, okay, I get it. I can actually have the same success that everybody else does if I do what they tell me to do. I follow the system. I work out every day. I drink my shake. I eat right. Guess what? My body changes. That's that picture down there, that before and after. That stripe, that zebra stripe bikini was my day one P90X in January of 2010. And just, maybe 6 months or 8 months later, those pictures were taken, but I was in that shape pretty much 6 months after I started P90X. And it's not because I took a bunch of, weight loss drugs. It's not because I had plastic surgery. I worked with P90X and I drank Shakeology every day. And when I started seeing my body change, I started realizing it's the system. It's following what the successful people say to do. I decided I wanted more from life than a job could ever give me. I had worked in jobs my whole entire life. I had been a great employee. I had been an overachiever. I had been straight A's through college. I had always worked hard. But what I realized that in a job, it doesn't matter. Most of the time, it does not matter. If you put in 10 times more effort than the person next to you, you're pretty much going to get paid the same amount. I was an employee with a bunch of other employees. We all had our job descriptions, and it really didn't matter that I gave it my all. The people that just kind of sort of made it by got paid the same amount that I did. I was sick of that, and I wanted more. And if I was going to work hard, it was going to be for me, because working hard for a boss, working hard for a manager or for another company never did much but frustrate me, because I'm an overachiever and there just wasn't much room to overachieve in the work world. I discovered a passion in pushing other people to their potential. I am that girl that, as I grew up, I chose design because I liked art, but I never really felt connected to any career path. I never said like, yes, I want to be this. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a whatever. I just chose something that I had an interest in. And then I did really well in school because that's my personality, is to just take something and run with it. And I want to be the best no matter what it is. But I never felt fulfilled in it. What I discovered is that my real passion and joy in life comes through a couple of things. One is encouraging people, and the other is through people's gratitude. When people are grateful for me and they're thankful for me and they feel like I've done something for them that's made them better, that brings me enjoyment and pleasure in my life. So I found that with Beachbody. When I started sharing my journey and giving people some inspiration that they could do what I'm doing and push people to their potential in both physically and in their business, that was huge for me. I discovered this whole career path and being a coach was my passion. And then because of that, in the last few years, I have done huge things with this business. I'm in the millionaire circle now, and that was last year that I hit that. So I made over $1 million with Beachbody in the last few years. I have been 2 times an elite top 10 coach, meaning one of the top 10 actual people in this business of 200,000 people. And I have a team of thousands and thousands of coaches that work with me. And that all started with just a tiny dream. It just started with me and a couple people all saying, we want to do this together. And it's grown and grown and grown over the last few years to where I have a team of thousands now. I'm so excited every time I talk about my story and my journey that I want to just bring as many people as possible on this journey with me, because I know what a profound difference it's made for me. So now we got to think about you. What are your big dreams? What do you want for your life? I know when I got started, I had a few specific things that I wanted. I wanted to get in great shape. Obviously, that's one reason a lot of us get started. I wanted to work from home. I had just had a baby 6 months before that, and I knew I did not want to go back to work. I wanted to be able to do something I was proud of. I didn't want to just sit at home all day because I was struggling with that too, but I wanted to have a beautiful home. I wanted to be able to stay there with my son, and I wanted to be able to work on something that mattered to me. And then I also have this picture of these happy people, because one other thing that really attracted me to being a part of this business was the idea of having a team, having a group of friends. I don't want to call it an entourage because that just means it's about me, but I mean like having a group of people that when I went to an event or when I was going to go to a summit or whatever, I wanted to have people there with me. I didn't want to just go by myself. I didn't just want this to be a business where I made a bunch of money and I'm standing on my pedestal saying how happy I am. I wanted to bring people with me. To me, success is best enjoyed with people you love. There is no reason on earth for me to be successful and everyone else around me be struggling. If I know the answers, if I've been able to figure something out, I want to share it, whether it's physical or financial. I want people to know the answers that I found. And that creating a team and having a group of people around me that were also independently financially free or independent from having jobs or were in great shape and excited about that, that's what I want. And I think those are things that you probably want too. So let's think about this. First steps. Why are you even going to build a business? What's the point of building a business? Before we even get started in any of the nitty-gritty details and steps, I want you to understand the purpose of building a business, of building a following, of understanding why you're doing this. Because when you know why, the how gets a lot easier. Here's something very simple I want you to understand. When you become a coach, you are not just signing up to be an affiliate to sell products. Can you sell products? Absolutely you can, and you're going to. We offer the most amazing, comprehensive, best both fitness and nutritional products, in my opinion, anywhere out there that give people results head and shoulders above anything else out there. Do we sell those? Yes, we do. And is that awesome? Absolutely. But I am not asking you to become a coach with me to just simply be a salesperson, because I don't think anyone signs up for this business to be in sales. I believe if you've signed up to be a coach, it's because you want to make your life better. You want to make other people's lives better. But that's not just going to be through selling of products. When I first got started as a coach, I thought, because I didn't understand, I thought, well, I guess I could sell P90X to these people. And this friend said they're interested. And I kept thinking, like, how on earth am I going to sell enough P90Xs to retire? How is that going to happen? But to sell like 50,000 of them, like how many do I actually need to sell? And what I didn't understand at the time, but I get now, is this is not about selling as many products as possible. and making your mom and dad and brothers and sisters buy a new program every single month, because that would be annoying. The reason you're going to build a business is so that you can do the same amount of work every single day, every single week, but in turn and in time make exponentially more and more of an income, because you're bringing people on board with you that also want the same thing. So basically it's like having an awesome restaurant and realizing, okay, I can only serve so many people at this little restaurant, but everybody loves it. You know, you could try to be the waitress and you could try to make the food and seat people and do it all yourself. You know, if you only had a couple customers, you could probably say, here, sit right there. I'm going to go back and make you some food like you would at your house. But once you get 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 customers that are coming in for lunch, you can't seat them, serve them, cook the food, and clean up after them. You can't do all of that yourself. You're going to need to bring on other people to help you. That's kind of the idea. You bring in other people and say, okay, you're going to be the wait staff. You're going to serve people. You're going to cook the food. You're bringing in people to help you with your business. And then eventually you're going to invite them to start their own business and say, hey, you know what you're doing here. Why don't you start another location across town and you bring people in? They're still going to make money. That's exactly what I want you to understand. Your friends, family, whoever you're bringing into your business, they make their own commissions. They sell product, they make their 30 bucks, you get points for that. You're going to build a business where Beachbody is going to pay you a bonus based on how well your team does. It's an incredible system of success, and I want you to understand that that's what you're working towards. You are not working towards being an incredible salesperson. Although I want to teach you how to share your story and bring people on board, it is not about just selling stuff. So let's go ahead and go through your quick start document you're going to find on your online office. This is a great little document for you to both use yourself and then also introduce your new coaches to how to get started. You can print this out and write on it if you'd like to do, have a little notebook of your reference materials, or if you want to just save it, there's links on here that can really help you as you're getting started in your business. There's links to other documents, so I might suggest leaving it somewhere where you can easily get to it as we're working on this. So sign into your Coach Online office. You can do that from the email that was sent to you saying, congratulations, you're a coach. And you want to click on that Start Here button. From there, it's going to bring up the 3 little options of the CEO Welcome, How to Get Started, and Site Tour. I want to remind you to go ahead and do that site tour and go ahead and click through all the buttons there so you can get your little welcome packet basically. But what we want to do right now is click on that Business Quick Start, because that's going to be the document we look at for the next few minutes. And you can save that or print it, but again, if you want to keep it, you've got the hot links to the other documents, videos, and kind of just resources you want to use. It's a great document for you to save. Okay, so the first thing you're looking at is your information. You want to go ahead and put your coach ID down there. That's a number that you're going to need if you ever speak to Coach Relations. That's your identification number. You want to make sure you kind of memorize that. If you don't have it memorized right now, just write it down. And then also you're going to be able to put down your coach websites. Again, this is something you're going to memorize, but for now, just so you get it in your mind, write it down. Your websites are whatever you set up your screen name to be. For example, mine is Nightlife. So if you go to beachbuddycoach.com/nightlife, that's my coach website. I also have a Shakeology and a Reset website where Beachbody has put together these little websites where people can purchase from you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to pay for that. I would suggest perhaps getting a URL from GoDaddy, because typing all of that out for a potential customer or coach could get confusing. I want to make it really easy, and I want to be able to just tell people if I meet them or if we're talking where to go. So I just went ahead and purchased laurenknight.com from GoDaddy. I think I did that for like $15 back a few years ago. And you can purchase your name if you have a common name. If your name is like Sarah Smith, I would go ahead and get something a little bit more unique, just because it's probably taken, for one. And secondly is, you're going to want to do something that people can differentiate who you are. Like, don't do your whole Sarah Jolynn Smith. People might not remember that. Again, you're kind of getting into that gray area of it being difficult. So maybe find something to do with fitness, or find something that means something to you that's a little catchier. Because something short and sweet that people can directly go to. And there's even a little video on how to link that to your Beachbody page. And then your coach support team. So that's going to be your upline sponsors. If you sign up with me as your sponsor, then that's my name. Now, I'm going to be your sponsor diamond and star diamond. But if You signed up with a friend that's on Team Impact. Perhaps, that person is your actual coach, and then you're going to see my name or one of our other diamonds and star diamonds as your upline. And that's the reason we want you to know that, is if you would ever need anything, you know that you've got a support team and their phone numbers that you can call on anytime you need them. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but you want to know who your support team is as well. Make sure you add them on Facebook and stay connected. And then, of course, coach relations. You want to go ahead and save this 800 number because you will need it eventually to talk about any issues you're having with your websites, any orders from your customers. I am not going to be able to see who your customers are. That information is private to you and to Beachbody because, I don't need to look at your customers. Those are your customers. Once again, I don't get a commission off of the people you sell to. You do that. And I would never try to, but this ensures that I can't reach out to your customers and try to get them to switch over to me or in any way know who your personal relationships are. Those are your customers. And of course, you've got your FAQ coach, customhelp.com as well, if you would rather chat with somebody. Okay, so get and stay connected. You want to make sure you follow or at least know where these social media outlets are so you can see what's going on within the team. Team Beachbody, that is. And then, of course, we also have our own Team Impact Facebook page that you need to be added to. If you haven't been yet, make sure you request your coach to add you to that team. Also, we have our national wake-up call every single week at 8 in the morning, and that's actually Pacific time, so make sure you recognize that if you're anywhere else in the country. You want to listen live at that number. There's a playback number later if you miss it, and then they will also upload an audio file so you can listen in the archives. If Monday mornings aren't good for you and you'd rather listen on Tuesday, it's there for you to listen to. There's also a huge archive of past calls. So if you're looking for some extra training and some extra motivation, those are great to put on if you're on a commute to work, if you're just sitting around at night cleaning, put those calls on, listen to some of that information and encouragement to help you learn more about becoming the best coach you can possibly be. Okay, so then the third thing there is set up your business. I talked a little bit about your websites, but this is going to be how you actually set them up. Make sure you have your photo, make sure you have a profile in there. That's really simple to do, but there's a video you can watch. If it's somewhat confusing to you, there's a video of how to get that done right there linked for you. There's also a video how to navigate the Coach Online Office, which you definitely need to watch. Again, these are really, really simple things, but it's going to help you kind of learn where things are. So you want to take a few minutes and do that. And then we've also got a video about the value of the Beachbody Club. Club membership is something you join separately. If you want to see the value and the reason why you want to be a club member, watch that video. It is also very important. So then number 4. Oh, actually, let's jump over to the 3 vital behaviors for just a moment because I don't want to skip over these, and I think that they're really, really important for you to talk about right off the bat. So obviously, because we call them vital behaviors, they are imperative to the life of your business. If you want to be a coach that's successful, you need to know, first and foremost, invite, invite, invite. And there's a reason why they've listed 3 times. It's just repeated the word over and over to give emphasis that it needs to be done over and over and over every day, inviting people to join your challenge and having the courage to invite everyone you come in contact with. Invite and then invite more. Basically, you get the gist. It's important to invite people. When you get an invitation from someone, and I'm just going to give an example of life in general, I can't think of a time when I got an invitation from anyone and I was offended by it. Never once. Anytime I got an invitation, it's because I'm being asked or included to an event or something that I might want to go to. Now, chances are I might not want to go to it as well, but I get the decision then if I want to go or not. There's nothing worse than knowing something cool is going on and not getting invited. I think we've all had that happen a time or two in our life, whether it be a party or a wedding or, even I've been to birthday or wedding showers or baby showers. If you don't get invited to something that you feel like you want to go to, that's kind of hurts sometimes. But I have never felt the opposite way where I was offended or hurt that somebody invited me to do something with them. So remember that. You're inviting people. You're asking them to come with you. You're saying, I like you enough. I want you to be with me. I want you to go with me. I don't understand anything about that that's offensive. I don't understand why anybody would ever be mad at you for inviting them if you're truly asking them to come with you. So think about that. Think about the fact that an invitation is something extremely positive and it's inclusive. So there should be no fear in inviting someone to come with you. They should not be offended. And if they are, then you've invited the wrong person. So the second part is be proof the product works. There's no reason to invite someone to do something if you can't even show them what it is they're going to do. So if you wouldn't get a blank invitation that just says, come with me, and not know where, when, how, and why. When you're being proof the product works, you're using Shakeology, you're using a fitness program, you're being that walking success story, people understand what it is you're inviting them to do. You're inviting them to change. You're inviting them to a better life that you're finding. So you have to be proof before you can really invite them. Just a quick little side note on that. You do not have to be in perfect shape. You do not have to be at the end of your journey. In fact, you could just be a week into your journey. It doesn't matter how far into the journey you are, but you have to be taking a journey. So I don't ever want to hear someone say like, well, I don't have anything to share. Yes, you do. If you committed to a program, if you just purchased Shakeology, if you're excited about losing weight, you're on a journey right now and you can invite somebody to join you. But if you don't have any proof, if you don't have any results for the next 6 months, you're in the exact same place 6 months from now, then people might not really be that excited to join you. So yes, you do need to think about, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my program? Am I being consistent with it? Am I using my shake every day? If I'm not, it's not going to be long before people are not excited to get your invitations anymore, because your invitation doesn't mean anything. You want to be proof. And then the last part is personal development. And this one gets overlooked all the time, because this one is the thing that people look at and say, oh yeah, I'm sure that's important, but I just don't have time. Personal development is every single day reading, listening to audiobooks, using Success on Demand, attending events, going to seminars, something to feed your soul, something to feed your mind and who you are as a person. It's great to work out, and we need to work out and show people that the products work. But if you're not also developing who you are, becoming an inspirational person, people aren't going to follow you for very long. Physical change is only going to be attractive to some people for some of the time. What really, really speaks to people is who you are. So think about the person that invited you to this business, the person you signed up with. There was something about them that inspired you or motivated you or made you feel like you could be better, or made you say, I want to be like this person. I want those qualities in my life. It wasn't just because they had a six-pack. They may not have a six-pack at all. But because they are someone you want to be like, you decided to join as a coach. And that's what you need to do too. And that only comes through personal development. That person you join, guarantee you they've done personal development, or you would never be attracted to them. Okay, so also kind of in line with personal development is registering to attend events. This is one other thing that I did early in my business that had made such a profound difference for me, was attending every event I could go to, was getting around other coaches, getting excited about their dreams and their goals and seeing the progress they were making. It's meeting my team and really digging into the lifestyle of a coach, and not just doing this thing on my own in my own computer and never talking to anyone else. It's really, really connecting. So if you haven't registered to attend your next Super Saturday, you need to do that. If you haven't registered to attend Summit, you need to do that too. And anytime I looked at spending money on my business, if it was, you know, a plane ticket to go to Summit, or having to drive across the state to go to an event, I looked at that and said, you know, is it worth $50? Do I want to make more than $50 in this business? Absolutely, I do. So it's worth it. You know, when I first was asked to attend Summit, I remember thinking, man, I have to buy a plane ticket to, it was in LA at the time, you know, that's a $400 plane ticket. And then the ticket itself is $250. So then I've got a hotel. Like, it's going to cost me over $1,000 to go to this. And I really had to sit and ask myself, am I willing to invest $1,000 in my business? And I had some time before Summit came, and I told myself, you know what? I want to make more than $1,000 in this business. This business is not worth it to me if I'm not making money. So yes, if I go to this event and it helps me make $1,000, it is worth it to me. If I meet some amazing people and I get excited about this and I want to do more, it's worth it. I have 4 months until Summit. I think I could make $1,000 in 4 months if I really, really worked at this. And I made that my goal. I'm telling you, if you want something bad enough, you can make it happen, but you have to decide what you want, and you have to be willing to work for it. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes. So what's going to come next? You're going to create an action plan. Now that you've got a little bit of basic info about what you're looking at in your online office, we want to create an action plan for your business. That's going to be on the next page of this document. You're going to start identifying people that you can help. Because if you don't have people to talk to, you really don't have a business. Yes, we have products, but who those products go to is your business. So you want to download that memory jog or PDF, and it's going to help you write a list of names. And let me tell you what you're going to do with this list of names. These names are not going to be your list that you just mass email. That's not what I would suggest doing. I would suggest taking this list, and I would go through, once you write down every single person you can think of, and I'm talking like your mom's best friend's husband, and the girl that does your nails, her and her buddy, and whoever it is that you can think of, that just going to really help you write down probably 50 to 100 names right off the bat. What I would do is I would take that list and I would go through with a highlighter. I would highlight the ones, the 20 or 30 people that are really more like personal acquaintances to you, that you would consider friends or people that you really do know. I would highlight all of those, and then I would go back and I would circle the ones that are very close to you, that you talk to on a regular basis, or maybe you've talked to within the last 2 weeks. Those are your friends, and you may have 10, 12, 15 people that you circle, that are highlighted and circled. Those are going to be the first group of people that you talk to. But you're not going to worry about talking to all 50 of them today or 100 of them today. You're just going to pick a few. But every single day, you're going to work through that list. So tomorrow, you're going to go through and you're going to look at the highlighted ones that aren't circled, and they're going to be the next group of people you talk to. The day after that, you may go through and say, okay, now I'm going to try to pick a few more of these people that are a little bit further removed from me, and I'm going to start conversations with them. So it's just a little bit by little bit, day at a time, step at a time. You're not talking to a million people today, just a few. You want to download and use the contact list that Beachbody has provided. This is a great little document for keeping track of these people you're talking to. We get to write down their name and what conversation you had, if you sent them a video, or what type of interaction you have with that person. It's a great way to keep track. And then number 6, you want to engage in training. And that's what you're doing right now, first of all, so congratulations. But also you want to get engaged in our next coach. We call it our coach boot camp, and it's a 10-day boot camp to get you started in your business. And every single day, you're going to have a little bit of homework and interacting with other new coaches. So make sure you get involved in that. If it hasn't happened this month, it's going to be happening next month. So make sure you get involved. And then, of course, your training on your website, which I showed you some of those videos of how to find your website and all that stuff. You want to do that training because that's very, very helpful. Even if you don't completely remember or understand everything the first time it's introduced to you, you've seen it once, and you can always go back and find it again. So then on the back side of this document is the coach action plan. So first of all is getting your success partner. This is somebody who you can partner with in accountability. It's going to be another new coach like you, someone who's got similar goals, hopefully maybe even bigger goals than you. It's really going to push you, and you guys can together work towards success. My why. This is going to be one of the most important things that you outline as a new coach. Not just for yourself and for setting your own goals, but also because it's what people are going to want to know when you talk to them. They're going to ask you the question, why are you doing this? What is this coach thing? If you don't have an answer for them, it's going to become pretty awkward. So let's talk a little bit about how to find and dig into your why. The reason why you signed up as a coach might be to lose weight, and that is perfectly fine. That is the exact reason that I first looked at coaching as well. But there's also other reasons why I decided to become a coach. Like I told you before, I want a group of people, a group of friends. I never had that growing up. I was homeschooled. I was alone a lot, or just with my sister. I have never had that huge group and, like almost that sorority feel of girls around me, and I wanted that. I saw other people attending events. I saw the pictures online of all these coaches doing stuff together, and I wanted that. I wanted that team atmosphere, that camaraderie of spirit, and all working towards something. I was never in athletics. I was never a part of anything that I felt connected to, and I wanted that so, so bad. Another reason why I became a coach was because I wanted to work from home. So these reasons are great. They're like the initial why, but what I want you to think about is not just that surface level reason of I want to lose 30 pounds, but think, why do I want to lose 30 pounds? What type of person would that make me? What would it change in my life if I did this? That's really, really important, because that initial goal that I want to lose 30 pounds is probably not deep and emotional enough for you to give up things. If you saw a big piece of chocolate cake, you knew you wanted to lose 30 pounds, but man, that's going to taste so good. There's a chance you might just go for it and be like, yeah, I'll start tomorrow. But if you had already outlined the reasons why you want to lose 30 pounds, because you want to take this vacation with your husband and you don't want to be in a bikini right now, and if I could just lose those 30 pounds, it would really, really help our marriage. I feel like I'd be more confident. I would want to do more fun things. I would want to take my kids places. I would want to get out of the house more. I would have better friendships because I wouldn't be so self-conscious all the time. If you could write down those things and really outline why it's important to you, chances are those things are deep and emotional and important to you, and that stupid piece of chocolate cake is no longer that important anymore, because these things, your kids, your family, your friendships, your life, is worth saying no. That's what I want you to figure out. If you could be a stay-at-home mom, if you could quit that part-time job, if you could pay off those credit cards that are hanging over your head, what would that do for you? What is your real deep emotional why? And how you're going to do that will become easier. When you realize what you want and it is connected to your heart, the way that it's going to happen somehow just doesn't seem that bad anymore. So let's talk about your goals. Once you know what you want, let's set some goals in order for you to get there. There's a few that are specific to Beachbody that I know you need to set, and then the other you can figure out on your own. The first one is Success Club. Every single coach needs to focus on hitting Success Club every month. Success Club is just a simple rewards program that Beachbody set up. It's basically connecting a few points with sales of product. So when you sell a challenge pack, that is a Beachbody fitness program paired with Shakeology on Home Direct. When you sell a pack like that to one of your coaches or customers, first-time coaches you also get points for, but anytime you sell it to a customer, you're also going to get that point as well. 2 points for a pack, 1 point for Shakeology on Home Direct. So those points every single month to new customers is what's going to make you hit that 5, or then if you hit 6 through 10, that's a 10 mark. So Success Club 5 is what you're shooting for. Basically, that's 3 sales. 2 points for a challenge pack. So you could sell 2 challenge packs, getting you to 4 points, and then an additional bag of Shakeology would get you to 5. If you sold 3 challenge packs and you hit 6 points, that's also Success Club 5. You have to get all the way to 10 to go to the next little marker there. But that's your first goal, and every month your goal to hit 5 points. What's happening when you do that? Think about that. So if I sell a challenge pack and it's got Shakeology Home Direct in it, and I sold 3 of those this month, I'm gonna get 60 to 70, depending on what product was sold. If it's P90X, you're making like, I think it's like $70 some for that, or maybe it's close to $80 for that challenge pack, because it's a $200 challenge pack. If you sold a 21-day fixed challenge pack, it's gonna be about $60 for your commission. But every month that you do that, you're compounding the Shakeology sales, because that Shakeology on Home Direct ships out to that customer every single month until they cancel. So if you sold 3 products this month and you made close to 100, 150 bucks, you would then next month continue to make 30 bucks per person for that Shakeology. So that's $90 again just through Shakeology. That's what you want to do, is start compounding your sales. And that's what the Success Club program does. It teaches you to put new blood into your business every month, get new customers, and rewards you for that. So each month that you hit Success Club, a few different things happen. You get your Success Club points that push you towards that next Success Club trip. Like this year, we're going to Cancun. You also, every single month, they offer some type of incentive. There was a bobblehead last month. There was personal development book one month. I got like a sweat towel, and one month there's t-shirts sometimes, but there's always some prize for hitting Success Club. That's one reason to do it. The second reason, though, is going to be that your income will grow much faster if you continue to put new sales into your business. So 3 a month is easy to do. You've got that. So connected to that is your monthly income. That first month, if you hit Success Club and you hit at least $100, you've paid for your product. You've paid for your own Shakeology, and you're no longer paying anything to be in this business. You're just able to make money, and that's really the first goal that you have, is to at least make your money back in month 1. Month 2, you've already made that money back again. You've got your 30 bucks a pop for Shakeology. That's $90 if you sold 3. And now you're able to make additional money with your next 3 sales. So you can just count on strict commissions for the next 3 months, Or you can also rank advance, which is what that next goal is. And you want to become an Emerald coach within your first month. This is so simple. 2 people. It means 2 people you need to reach out to and invite to do this with you. It can be your spouse and your friend. It can be your sister and your mom. It can be 2 people that have been watching you on Instagram. It doesn't matter, but 2 people that say, yeah, I really, really want to get in shape. I want to get that discount on Shakeology, and I think I'd kind of like to start a challenge group. I think I want to make some money while I get in shape. You can find 2 people, then you're an Emerald coach. This is the reason why you're building that list. This is the reason why you're reaching out to people daily and inviting, is because it's going to take you getting through a few people before you find your 2. But that's our first goal, is 2 people that say, yes, I want to build a business with you. And then your other goals need to be perhaps your weight goal, perhaps other life goals that you have. You could put down your personal development book that you're reading, that you want to get through 1 book a month, or 1 book every 2 weeks, whatever it is for you, but want to go ahead and write down those goals as well and break them down month by month. So if you know you want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, then you want to break that down and give yourself a goal to hit each month. Or if you want to get back into your size, 4 jeans, and you want to say next month I want to be in my 6, and I want to be in a 5, and I want to be a 4. So make sure you write those goals down for every area of your life that you really, really care about. Okay, and then you want to connect your goals to your why. So when you're talking about your goals, you want to see how they're going to impact your business and your personal life. So if you could make an extra $200 a month, what would that do? If you can make an extra $500, if you can make an extra $1,000 a month, what would that do for your life? Would that give you breathing room? Would that help you pay off a credit card? Would that be able to be money put away towards vacation next year? What would you do with it, and why do you want to make this goal happen? The next one is scheduling your time. You are going to work so many hours a day or so many hours a week on your business. I will fit this time into my schedule by, and you want to write those things down, because it's going to take something. You're going to have to sacrifice something, either sleep, either going out with your friends, maybe TV time, maybe instead of messing around on Facebook for a couple hours during your lunch break, or an hour during your lunch break, you want to say, this is exactly how this is going to happen. Also, you want to define your daily activity. You're going to complete the following activities every single day. Write down specific things you're going to do. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you want to write that down so you know what it is you're spending that 4 hours a day doing and how those activities are going to help you. Then you want to identify potential obstacles, because we know they're coming. So go ahead and write them down. I know that I have to, we have a baseball tournament this weekend, or I'm going to be working late for the next 3 weeks, or whatever it is that you've got coming up in your life, write it down. The more that you can plan to overcome the obstacles, the better off you are. You're going to have a backup babysitter. You're going to plan ahead and adjust your schedule. Maybe bring your list and your phone with you and let your husband drive to the tournament so you can make some phone calls. Whatever it is that you can stay focused on your goals, you will feel so much better about your business if you know you didn't just let it slide. You planned and got it done. And then the last part down here, you want to hold yourself accountable. You can use the business activity tracker, which is a great little list of how to, tells you every single week what you need to do. You can check things off. If you're a list maker, that works. If you just rather make your own to-do list, that's fine as well. But then you want to have your success partner, and you want to share those things back and forth, maybe on a weekly basis. You check in, on Friday mornings or something, and say, hey, have you done this week? Did you talk to 10 new people this week, 2 a day for 5 days? Go ahead and decide what you're going to check in about and have that accountability. And then the last part is schedule a challenge group and go public. This needs to be part of your action plan. You've got to be able to 100% say, I'm ready to get started. You can't sit on your hands for weeks and weeks saying you're trying to learn about being a coach. You just need to go ahead and jump in and say when your challenge group date is going to start. And let me tell you something. We are building leaders on this team. That is one thing I want to get through to you today, because you're a new coach. That does not mean that you're a baby that's just going to crawl and it's just going to kind of limp along until you figure it out. You're a leader today. You're going to stand up and start saying, hey guys, I found a different way to live. I'm excited about my goals now. I want to do more with my life. Look at these people. They're so excited and free and dancing. That's an attitude. That's a way of life. That's an excitement that you want in your life. I know that right now it may seem a long ways off. You get to live the life of your dreams, but I'm telling you, it's not that far off. 5 years ago, I would never have imagined the life that I live today. I would never have imagined the freedom that I would have in just a few years working hard. But You can do it, but you have to take that attitude and say, I'm a leader now. I'm not just going to wait for things to happen to me. I'm going to be proactive. One of the things that we're going to talk about right now is how to find answers. As a leader, as creating leaders in this business, I don't want a bunch of followers that just wait for me to say jump, and how high. I'm not your boss, and I never want to be that. I want you to take ownership of your business and be proud of it and excited that you're building this thing. You're just doing it with some help. So how are you going to find answers? Things like, how do you I don't remember how to do this, or I can't figure out how to start a group on Facebook, or there's just going to be little questions that pop up here and there. And I want you to know how to find answers. Your first initial response is going to be just to call your coach, but I want you to know and realize it's not that I don't want to hear from you. It's not that your coach doesn't want you to talk to them. We want to talk to you about bigger things. We want to talk to you about goal setting and stuff like that. I do not want you to just rush to your coach with every little question. I want to teach you how to find answers and teach your team how to find answers. So here's kind of the hierarchy of how to do that. First, you're going to go to your Coach Online office in your FAQs. There's so many answers there, so you could start there if you've got any questions regarding your websites or finding anything or just coaching in general. That's where to go. Secondly, Google it. There are so many answers available on Google. You will be able to find an answer through either a video, maybe just a pop-up of something that somebody else has asked this question before, especially if it's regarding social media or how to do something on Facebook. Google that. Ask in the team page if you've got a specific question about something going on in your team or something with, you're figuring out as a coach. The team might be able to help you. There's hundreds of coaches in there that would be happy to jump in and chime in on anything that you've got a question on. And then, of course, you can call Coach Relations, and I gave you that number earlier, especially with any website questions or questions regarding your coaches or your customers. And then, of course, you can ask your coach or your upline coach, but just make sure that you've gone through other avenues first, because you want to make sure you're teaching yourself and your team how to be owners of your own business. All right, so get started now. This is kind of jumping into the meat of being a coach. Now that we've gone through some of the little basics of the website and things like that, let's talk about really getting started. You're new, so you're feeling a little bit anxious about getting started, but I'm telling you, you will never know everything. I don't know everything about coaching, and I've been doing it for 5 years. But if I had waited until I knew every in and out of everything about Beachbody, and I'd done every program and tried every flavor of Shakeology and every single recipe, and I had read through the whole compensation plan, I would still be reading. There is so much out there. So start sharing your journey right now. I want to kind of remind you, throughout your entire life, especially your adult life, you have been recommending things. You've been recommending food, you've been recommending restaurants and movies and things you've been to and events. You've been telling people, dude, you got to check this out your whole life. If it's something you enjoy, you recommend it. And that's exactly what you're going to be starting to do with your journey. You know about your journey. You don't have to know everything about Beachbody. You can just share a few things that you've experienced. Think about it. How do you share other things that you enjoy? Do you stress over the details? No. If you take a very specific example, if a new restaurant opens up in your town, say it's a new Italian restaurant, and you go and hang out there with your spouse and you have so much fun, and you have a great meal. Let's say one of your friends asks you in a group and says, oh, has anybody been to that restaurant down the road? I heard it's new. Has anybody been there? You wouldn't say, oh man, I have been there and it was really good, but I don't remember the entire menu and I didn't try everything, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. And you know what? I really can't remember what the waiter's name was. I don't know the phone number either. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. That would be stupid. If you went to the restaurant, you enjoyed your meal, you had a great time, chances are you're going to be like, yes, it was awesome. You have got to go. I had, the chicken parmesan. It was so good. You wouldn't say, well, I don't know the phone number to give you, and I don't know this, and I don't know that, and I don't know this. You wouldn't say that at all. You would just tell her what you do know, which is it was awesome, and you had a good time, and you should go. And that's all it takes is your experience for someone to say, oh, cool, all right, maybe I'll go there or I'll go there tonight, or we'll go there this week. It's not because you told her every detail about the restaurant. It's just because you had a good experience with it, and she trusts your recommendation. There's no part of her that thinks you're trying to be weird or salesy, or that you're going to get offended if she doesn't go. You have a shrug it off mentality because it's okay with you if she doesn't go. You know it was good. You're going to go back. If she doesn't want to, okay. That's not going to keep you from not going if she doesn't want to. Don't get offended. This is where the selling and sharing kind of starts to separate. If you want to be good at sales, you need to stop selling. You need to start sharing from your personal experience. There's going to come a time in that conversation where you're going to get down to talking about what it costs and how they sign up, but it's not going to be the first interaction. You get started right now on talking about your experience and asking people what their experience is. Ask them about their goals. Once you share about yourself, turn it around and start asking them to share with you. That's how you get started without the fear of selling. When they ask you, well, oh, okay, so this 21-day fix that you're raving about, how much is it? If you don't know that, it's okay. They would probably rather you go, I can't remember. It's not that much. Let me go check and I'll send you a message later. That's fine. You do not have to know every detail. Now, in the future, it would be good for you to learn the prices of things, but you do not have to know every single detail in order to be a good coach. If you've got someone interested and they're willing to talk to you about it, they're willing to wait for the price later. In fact, it might be good for you to let them think about it, get excited about it, and then later on tell them, okay, here's the details. I'm starting a group next week. Here's how much it's going to cost. I know you're going to love it. Let's get you started. Here's how to get signed up. But once they're excited about it, not because it's the first thing you shared with them and you stressed over every detail of it. That's what I really want to get across to you is get started where you are and stop worrying about all of the details that can work themselves out later. What should you share? So as you're getting started as a new coach, you're probably thinking about, oh my goodness, I guess I have to become, a social media guru and I have to know every good thing to post and I've got to be posting 20, 50 times a day. No, you don't need to do that. But what you do need to do is start sharing your story. So here's what things that you should share. As a new coach, you're not going to have a huge weight loss story, maybe, and you're probably not going to have a huge income story yet either. I would never want you to lie or try to tell someone, yeah, I started drinking Shakeology this week and I lost 50 pounds. Never, ever, ever. We want you to share what you've done and be confident in that because it's your story. So you can share, I've lost 5 pounds in the first couple weeks. I feel amazing. I have support now. I've got this coach and I've got these girls around me in this group that I'm in and I love it. It's so much fun. I have extra money. I was able to pay my phone bill last month with just the money I made through Beachbody. I've stopped crash dieting. I was on that crazy roller coaster the last few years of getting in shape and then falling off the wagon and being burned out. And now I feel like I don't have to do that anymore. Or, I've got friends that get it. I've had such a hard time finding people to support me through this journey. And I just really want people in my life to understand why I want to be in shape. And they really push me to do that. Those are things you can share about your business right now if you're just getting started. And then in bold over here, I put some things to share about your business. Kind of like what we talked about with your goals. Share where you want to go with the business. Don't be afraid that just because you haven't gotten there yet, people don't care. You need to share your dream with them. Once you've written out and outlined exactly what you want, you don't have to just share, well, I'd like to lose 30 pounds and I'd like to make $10,000 this year. That's really not that inspiring. That's just a list of things to do. But if you know why you're doing those things, if you can once again share why that girl who's 30 pounds lighter is going to be just the most amazing mom and the person that you want to be, that's more inspiring. Instead of saying, I'd like to make $10,000, for you to say, I've got 2 credit cards that have been hanging over my head for the last 3 years. And I add to them every year. They never get smaller. And there's no way out of this for me. I do not want creditors calling me anymore. I do not want to worry about money. I would like to be able to actually go on vacation. I would like to be able to rip up these credit cards and never have them again. That's inspiring. When you tell someone, this is what I want to do, and I have no way to do that in my current position. I'm not getting a $10,000 bonus this year. I know my boss is never going to do that, so I'm finding my own way. That's inspiring. You can share that stuff. Ask them to dream with you. Again, you're inviting them through your dream to say, what do you want? Are you happy where you are today? Are you anywhere different today than you were 5 years ago? And if you don't do something different today, will you be somewhere different 5 years from now? Probably not. When you start realizing that and then inviting people to take the little journey and dream with you, you're going to realize there's a lot of people out there that feel exactly like you do. But you haven't shared with them, so they didn't have a reason to share with you. So here's some things examples of things you could share on social media. Through the years of me doing this, I probably don't have all great examples. I didn't go back far enough to look for some bad ones, but Chances are I deleted them anyways by now, because if I found out they were bad, I probably went back and deleted them. But here's some examples of good posts that you can make on social media. And I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, you pick a few topics. I don't just post about fitness. I don't just post about nutrition. I post about 5, 6 things and topics that are close to my heart and that make me feel true to myself. And those are the things I talk about. Sometimes it's fitness, but I have a specific message with fitness. You know, I'm not out there saying I'm the fittest person in the world. I'm out there saying I'm a mom who is closer than I was yesterday. And I want to invite people to take the journey with me. I'm not ever going to claim to be perfect or that I never eat anything bad. But what I do have is a journey that's real and that people can connect to. And also have this little black and white picture up here with it talks about confidence and not being jealous of people and not being hateful towards people, because I also like to talk about attitude, because I used to be that girl. I was kind of a mean girl, as I put in this post. But that's something I talk about with people is attitude, because how much my attitude has changed over the years. And I think that that's something that connects to women in my following. And then I also post about food and healthy snacks and things that are helpful to young moms that are looking for ways to get in better shape or to prepare food for their family or cheaper ways to do things. I like to provide those types of things too. I also post about hair and makeup sometimes, fashion, things that I'm interested in, because I want people to get to know me. I don't want them to see me as a walking billboard for Beachbody. Like this. This is what not to share. You know, these things are great as far as Beachbody promoting themselves, but when you post the stuff with your link on them and say, buy my junk, that's all people see is you look like a garage sale for stuff. And, you know, you might accidentally get a sale now and then of somebody who was already looking for Combat or T25, but that's rare. And what you're probably going to do is more than likely get rid of people that were maybe going to be interested in what you do, but you turned them off too fast. And you became too salesy and too tacky, and they don't want to get involved with you now because there's no way that they would ever want to be like that. So think about that. When you're a coach and you're inviting people to join you, they have to look at what you do and say, yeah, I want to be like this person. I want to do what they do. They don't want to be salesy and tacky, and you don't either. So don't do that. Don't share prices on your posts. It's better to have someone message you and ask you, well, how much is that anyways? You have an opportunity to talk to them then. There's no story in those posts. There's no reason for anyone to connect to it. It's not personal. It doesn't show what you've done. You know, even posting somebody else's transformation and story is better than just posting a random ad. But the more personal it is to you is going to be the reason why people personally talk to you and connect with you and message you. And that's why we want to do that. Again, it all comes back to that vital behavior, number 1, which is inviting. Inviting. It is going to be the lifeblood of your business. And if you're not able to invite people, if people don't want to talk to you, there's going to be very little that you can do. If you burn every bridge you have because everyone looks at you as just a salesperson now, that is not good. You want to be able to add new people to your list daily. I mean, that list that you're creating of the 50 or 100 people you first wrote down, eventually you're going to get through those people, and once it's gone, then what? So you need to be adding people to it daily. Adding people that are liking your posts, adding people that maybe your friend's friend saw your post and is excited about what you're doing because she just had a baby and she wants to lose weight. On that note, you should also make your Facebook page public. You should make your Instagram following public. Let people see what you're doing. When you share things to your page and a friend of yours likes your post, your friends' friends, like their network, sees that. They see, oh, Jamie Brown liked Lauren Knight's photo. Who the heck is Lauren Knight? And they could go see who I am. But if they click on me and it just takes them to my page and says you have to be my friend before you can see it, they might not add me. They're just going to look at me and say, oh, okay, I don't know her. What you need to do is let them see your page and see how inspiring you are and see the journey that you're on and see your smile and see your genuine attitude and your encouragement. And that person can say, oh, okay, Lauren Knight is somebody that I might want to be friends with. They might add me or follow me or like some of my photos because it's public. They can look at it. That's why you want to make everything you do open to the public. If you have a problem with that, or you want to hide your kids' pictures or make those albums private to friends only or private to family only, you can do that just individually with those albums, but do not be afraid to open up your life and invite people in. That's what this is all about. So you want to start conversations that will make people want to talk to you again. Do not kill the sale with the first interaction. Let me give you an example. If you just met someone because on social media, maybe your friend's friend added you and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for posting that about your stretch marks. I just had a baby 6 months ago and I'm really struggling with this. I just don't know. I didn't know my body would ever look like this. You read that message, you have a few choices. The coach part of you wants to say, oh my gosh, please join my challenge group. I really want you to get involved with me. I know you can lose a lot of weight. You can really look awesome. Here's the link. Get started. Here's our group. You want to just kill her with all of this information and asking her to be part of your group. Don't do that. This girl doesn't know you. She's interested in what you posted. She thought it was inspiring, but instead of killing that sale, which she might be excited to join you eventually, do not kill it with that first interaction. That would be the perfect time to reach back to her and say something like, thank you so much. I'm so glad you reached out to me. That's awesome. I saw some pictures of your baby. Adorable. Tell me more. Did you can open up if your mom, you know how to open up and ask about how they're sleeping or what milestone that they're at or whatever. But start a conversation. Don't just say, here's what I want you to do. Start that conversation and then identify with her. I understand. At least personally, I do. I have stretch marks as well. I really didn't think I would have any. I didn't see them until after my baby was born, but they were all under my stomach. And imagine that, as soon as my stomach went down, there they were. But I will say that getting in shape has really helped me find confidence in my body. The better shape I get in, the less I care about my stretch marks. And honestly, I'm kind of proud to be a mom that's in good shape now. That's a great way to kind of transition from, oh, we both share the same problem, but I see that's a positive thing now because of this. So once again, you're being inspiring. You're inviting her to ask you more about your getting in shape, and you're going to see if she bites, because you don't want to turn her off with a sale. Not right away. You could have 4 or 5 back and forth messages with this chick within a couple hours and actually make a sale, or you could kill her in one message. And I really, really suggest getting better at interacting with people. This is going to be the huge wake-up call to your business, is not rushing into a sale. If you treat every person like you are desperate for their money, they will run the other direction. Nobody wants to get sold, but people like to connect and they like to share. So that's what you need to stay in that area where she trusts you, likes you, wants to work with you, and then is excited to purchase whatever it is that you're doing because she trusts that it's helping you and she wants to do it too. So then you want to invite people to take that action with you. Invite them to talk about their goals. It's great to reach out and give them your story, but you need to ask about them because that's what's going to get them talking. And then invite them on the journey with you. It's not that you have arrived. It's not that you have all the answers. You two are on a journey and you want to bring them with you. That's how you get that vital behavior, that invite to really start working for you. And this is not something you're going to master in one message or 2 or 5 or 10. I did it over and over and over again. And there were some that never responded to me after the first one, even if I thought it was good. Don't get down on yourself if people don't respond all the time. Sometimes there's things going on in their life too. But I will remind you that following up with people is kind of the second part to inviting. Once you've invited someone or sent a message and they don't respond to you, don't just give up. In a couple days, maybe shoot them another message. Don't ask them the same questions again. Maybe say something different. Maybe just go and comment on a few photos. Remind them, hey, I'm still here. I'm still watching you. I'm still excited for you. I never want people to feel pressured by me, but I want them to remember that I'm here and that I'm still working hard and that I'm still inviting them. Even just have my hand out and I'm not going to take it away right away. I'm going to give them a chance to get started with me, but I also want to create some urgency. So after a few messages, if this person is just like, I don't really know, that's when I would say, okay, well, I don't want to bug you anymore. I've got a great group of girls getting started this month and I'm going to go focus on our group. But if you're ever interested, just let me know. I'm not going anywhere, but I definitely want you to come with me. Okay, so kind of starting to wrap up. Consistency is going to be key for you as a new coach. Being successful takes time. It does not happen in just 1 week or 1 month. You may have some success, but it's going to take time of people seeing that you're really, really serious about this, just as with fitness. If you started a fitness program, you don't just get in amazing shape in 1 week. Sometimes you don't do it in 2, 3, or 4. Sometimes it takes you a couple months to really see those results. But if you quit after week 2, you'll never see them. It is about building on results, and that's exactly what the business is about too. You need to build a following of people that trust you. And trust comes from watching you show up daily. It's not going to happen with one post and all of a sudden everyone in the world is like, this girl's got it figured out. No, it's going to be because you're showing up day after day and they look at your journey and they look at your life and they say, you know what? She's got something to offer. Hey, I struggle with the same things. Hey, I get it. I'm right there with you. But it's because you're showing up day after day, not one time, and trying to convince everyone to join you. It's because you're doing something and going in a direction that's causing positive change in your life. And that takes time and consistency. Test different topics. You're being consistent daily. You can test different things. Your following and your audience may not care at all about fitness right now because you didn't care about fitness a few months ago. So why would all of your friends? You may post a few fitness things and get 3 likes. And you're like, man, I'll never be able to do that. Not necessarily. But right now, your friends and family do not see you as a fitness expert, so they don't really know what to do with that. What they could see is if you posted a picture of a healthy meal and you could say, man, I never thought I'd like healthy food, but here's something I made tonight that really worked for me. Here's the recipe. It was delicious. You might get a few moms that are like, absolutely, I need some ideas for healthy recipes. Or my kids loved this. I didn't think they would because it's healthy. Shh, don't tell anybody. Those types of things, like, try it and see what people respond to. You may get 20 likes and a few comments and a message or two about your food posts, but nothing about your fitness. It doesn't mean you can never post about fitness, but it might be something you kind of have to wait before you really post a lot. Because if you're just posting 3 and 4 times a day about fitness and about workout clothes and shoes you like and this marathon I want to run and all these fitness things, and your friends are like, what the heck? I do not know you right now. You're not fitnessy and I'm not either. You're going to turn them off. But once you start becoming consistent with your posts and with your body changing, you might be able to do more with fitness. Just don't think that today you're going to step into the role of being some personal trainer because you signed up as a coach yesterday. And in fact, it would be better for you to continue being authentic to who you are. And then down the road, you transition into, and these are the things that now matter to me. But find topics to post and talk about that you can inspire people. Maybe it is about your attitude. Maybe it is about things you're reading about on personal development and things that you could add value to people's lives. It doesn't always just have to be fitness. Test different topics and see what works for you. And then I want you to remember this as we close, and that is, how long did it take you to commit to becoming a coach? Chances are it did not just take your coach one time telling you about Beachbody and you just went and signed up. It probably took 3 to 5 exposures before you're ready to commit. I know it did for me. And if I had just stopped talking to people after the first time, if I just message people one time or talk to them one time and they say no and I walk away and never talk to them again, there would probably be a very few people on my team right now because it takes time for people to be ready to commit. I still have people that come to me a year, 2 years, 3 years later and say, okay, we talked about this years ago and I just wasn't ready, but I keep watching you and I really want what you have. I'm so depressed. I'm just ready to have a different life and I keep seeing your posts and I'm ready now. Sometimes it just takes time. I remember my experience with signing up as a coach. When I met my coach, she was teaching a Turbo Kit class at the Y. And every week, or maybe every other week, she would talk about, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach now, and I have a website you can go to. Check it out. I'm really loving it, and I'm making so many friends. And I want to invite you guys to just become coaches with me. She didn't even know what she was doing. Honestly, at the time, I didn't know it, but she'd just become a coach like a few weeks earlier. And I was like, what on earth is she inviting me to do? To look at her website? Okay, but why would I be a coach? Beachbody? I don't have a beach body. I look like this picture down here with the striped bikini on. That's exactly what I looked like in her class. And I was like, I don't know what this is. But I went and looked at her website. And I saw it was Beachbody, but I still didn't understand what she was asking me to do. But I became aware. A few weeks later, she invited our group, our Turbo Kit class, to look at her P90X group that she was going to start. And she gave us, the details on when it was starting and that she'd done P90X a few years ago and it was the best thing she ever did for her body. And she's nervous to start it again. She was that girl that was real to me. She wasn't like some super fitness model. She was in better shape than I was. And she had way more energy than me. But she wasn't somebody unattainable. She was real to me. And when she said she was nervous about starting P90X and she wanted to do it with a group of people, that connected to me. I was like, oh, okay, if you're nervous about doing it, maybe I can do it because I don't know what I'm doing with fitness. So it really helped me realize that I don't have to be perfect in order to start it. Her exposures, one after another, really started encouraging me that maybe I could do what she's doing. She asked me one more time to be a coach, and I told her no. She point blank asked me. And I said, oh no, I just don't have time for that. I'm staying at home with my son now, and I'm trying to work out as a designer from home. I just don't have time. That was BS. It's not that I didn't have time. I just didn't think I could do it. But when she invited me, it didn't hurt my feelings. It made me feel good that she wanted to do something with me. And the more I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, I really did want to do something with a group of people. I was very lonely and very depressed at the time, and her invitation stuck with me to the point of I eventually did sign up. I was one of her very first coaches, actually, and it was only because she invited me time after time after time and never felt afraid. I don't know, maybe she did, but she never showed it, to feel afraid to ask me one more time that she really thought I could do this. If she could do it, I could do it. And I believed her. I didn't believe in me, but I believed her. So just to encourage you, when you're talking to people, they don't know how you feel. They only know how they feel. And I was a scared new mom with this stretched out body and no confidence. And I saw her, and I saw her confidence in what she was doing, and that made me believe. So as a new coach, remember, you may not have all the answers today, but if you are excited about where you're going and you believe in this company and the products and the team, you have something to share with people. Stop thinking about your fear and stop thinking about all the reasons why they might say no to you, and think about why they're going to say yes, and think about why they should say yes. The last thing is, what are you going to do right now? You're a new coach, you got all this information, you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but I want to kind of break it down for you in a few steps. You know, I gave you some advice earlier on using your list from Beachbody and using that coach action plan. I definitely think you should get that out and do it. But let's just review on what's important right now to do. So one, you need to work out, drink your shake, and read your personal development daily. Those are the 3 things you do every single day without fail. Okay? You're going to put your goals where you see them every single day, either your computer screen or on your phone. You want to put your goals or a picture or something that reminds you of your goals where you see them every single day. Set up your challenge group and your start date, and then you start inviting your friends to join the group. And this is that number 1 activity. Talk to 2 new people a day about your excitement for your new dream and your business. You're always inviting your challenge group, but you are also always inviting 2 new people a day to listen to what you're excited about. That is really where you're going to start finding that emerald to get to 2 people that you need to sign up in your business. You've got to talk to people. People are not just going to say, hey, can I be a coach with you? That's not going to happen. Not yet. It might eventually one day. But in the beginning, people don't even know what you're doing. You have to invite them. Add new people to your list every single day to invite at a later date. You got to keep growing that list of people, and then start sharing your story on Facebook and in person. Practice is going to make you perfect. Here's one big tip that it sounds so silly, but I would do this, and I still kind of do this. I sat in front of a mirror and did my story, talked to myself, looked myself in the eyes, and would try to confidently speak to myself, where I could see my mouth moving, I could see my eyes engaging, I could see my hand gestures. I wanted to see, do I look confident when I'm talking? Do I sound confident? Because in the moment when you're speaking to somebody new, sometimes it's hard to even remember the words that you said because you're nervous. But when you're sitting in front of yourself and you're talking, you're not nervous. You're confident. Look yourself in the eye and imagine the girl on the other side is not you. Imagine that it's somebody that really, really desperately needs you, really desperately needs to change, needs to lose weight, needs to make an extra income. This person that you're talking to, this could be their chance to change their whole life. Don't let them down. Don't be so concerned about yourself and you having to be perfect and having the right words that you miss helping them. It's going to help you be a better speaker. It's going to help you be better at connecting. Sometimes I even film myself or get on my computer and I'll take a video of myself, kind of going over my story or going over a topic, and then I'll listen to it back and I'll watch myself and I'll say, man, okay, I'm looking around all the time. I need to focus more. I'm doing the weird things with my hands, or, I look like I don't trust myself right now. I can see it when I look at it back, and you will be able to too. I'm really excited that you are on this webinar today, I know that if you care enough about your business to spend the time to get started right, chances are you're going to do pretty well. After you watch this, you need to connect with your coach. You need to tell them, hey, I watched the Team Impact Getting Started webinar. I set my goals. I want to share them with you, and I want a success partner. I'm going to find somebody, or I'd like for you to help me. There's a few things you need to do now, and take some action. Just listening to this call is one thing. Taking action today and really starting your business is going to be why you're successful. Again, like we talked about before, do not sit on your hands and say, well, I need to learn more. No, you need to take action. Taking action is going to help you learn. Taking action is going to bring you more confidence, but you've got to start doing it. So thank you so much. And let me see if I can stop screen sharing for a moment. If you've got questions about this webinar, if you've got questions about getting started, that would be a great time to either go to your online office, use the FAQs, or talk to your upline coach. This is a good time to talk to them as you're getting started and let them know exactly what you want to do and let them know what questions you have. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.